The issue is, I relate to auditing of the Auditor General's Department. Over the years, I've asked under Omar Davis as Minister, Peter Phillips as Minister, Ollie Shaw as Minister, and I've asked you also. But I must commend you that for all the 4 or 5 Ministers of Finance, you are the first one to have ever had the Department of Auditor General's Department audited and presented to this Parliament. I think we have 2 years audit now due. So can you tell us whether those are on the...
Welcome viewers and subscribers to Jadil Entertainment. Thank you for being here. All new viewers, click the subscribe button. Well guys, in this video guys, we have Warmington addressing Nigel Clarke about an 2-year audit that is missing from his document. So right now guys, without no further addition guys, we're jumping at the video so you guys can get to understand what's going on in Jamaica. I'm also asking you to stick a like on this video and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you.
Way the Minister of Finance is supposed to be auditing that department. Where are we? When are we going to see the audit the last 2 years for the Auditor General Department? Huh?
What year are you speaking about? Yeah, so
Just a minute. Your financial secretary can ask you to ask me what year. You know the year that you'll table it here.
Yeah.
So she should know the years that are outstanding.
Okay,
She can ask me.
so I'm glad that you began with a recognition of the fact that
you worked and the time that
that
here.
this administration, the first to, as you have pointed out, to deliver on this responsibility. My information, member, is that what you term as the outstanding year, and I'll correct this if I'm mistaken, but what you determine as the outstanding year is already en route to Parliament. And that is, the outstanding would be 22-23, right? 23-24, we're not yet. But 22-23 is on its way to Parliament, or it might actually be here already.
That's the question I asked you, give the answer.
Yeah.
That they're on the way. That's why I asked where we are with those.
Yes.
But not to ask me which him. And I say I have 3 departments, Mr. Chairman.
Member,
I'm going to
please
the 3rd. I'm leaving the
focus
2nd.
on the questions that you're asking.
I've been focusing on it. Maybe you're not hearing me. You stop clap. Because I'm going to Interim Commission now, and they come after you. Unjustly. So let me ask my questions. All right. The Interim Commission, I see you giving them almost the next $1 billion here. It's raised from 1.8 billion to over $2 billion.
What number is this again?
You're giving them $193.3 million in addition. Okay? Direction and management, you have 1.3 million. Financial management and accounting services, 3.6. Human resources, that is the increase in salary that you talk about, reclassification, 59.2. Administration of internal audit, 939,000. The issue is, we haven't seen an audit of that department table in this house, but they are spending taxpayers' money. What I need to know, who is responsible for auditing that department to present the report here? The issue is, the Auditor General cannot do it because she's illegally sitting on that as a commissioner, as against what the Constitution provides for. So who is going to provide the audit for that department? When are we going to see audit for that department over the years? And secondly, this amount you have here of 193 million, does it include any part of the employment of overseas forensic auditor to look into accounts here? And if so, how much of this is going towards pay paying overseas forensic auditors to look in people's returns. And secondly, before I go any further, in that you are dealing with the department, in acquiring the services of the overseas forensic auditor,
We want to know.
what procurement method was used?
Yes.
Was there any procurement method? Or it was just employed as a friend from overseas? Are you able to answer this question,
Not for
Mr.
that
Minister?
amount. Not for that amount.
Member, member, with the greatest of respect, I think you have the wrong meeting. There was a meeting earlier this morning, the oversight meeting. Were you not there?
In the funds, you are providing funds for them, so they must justify to you why
Right.
they're asking for this.
Right. So member, under our arrangements to preserve the independence of the Integrity Commission, funds are provided on a line item basis, and it's within the powers of the Integrity Commission to use the funds that are provided by the government and taxpayers of the country in ways that are consistent with their mandate. To the extent that you have a question on how they have chosen to use those funds, I would humbly submit that that question is better directed to the Integrity Commission.
What about the question about audit of the department presented to being laid in the House?
The best information I have is that the Integrity Commission would be audited by a private and independent auditor.
Already been acquired?
No, as I said, we provide line item resources.
No. The auditing, you were told that independent auditor will be doing it.
Right,
So
no.
my asking is, have you already acquired the service of particular independent auditor?
Remember, member, again, that's a question that is better directed to the commissions of the Integrity Commission. We provide a line item. We provide a line item of expenditure to the Integrity Commission, and they decide how to use those funds, and they are accountable to the Parliament through the Oversight Committee. So to the extent that you want to hold them accountable, I'd suggest that you use the proper organs to do so. Yeah.
Thank you, Minister, for the answer. But we need to make it clear that you are the Minister.
Of Finance.
Not across there. You won't see that chair. Somebody clap over there when me talk. I'm saying, Minister, I expect that the audit, we get an audit report of that department before the next financial year, before next budget comes here. There's no way we're going to approve another $2 billion for a department that has not been audited for years. Okay? So I expect that the audit be laid here before March next year, because we're not going to allow it to pass through here. If I'm the only person to stand and say, no, I'm going to do it. But there must be an audit at that department.
Remember, I don't think any reasonable person can object to your requirement. These are public funds, and I have no reason to expect that that's a difficult proposition.
Member from St. Andrew, Southeastern.
Thank you, Chairman. In the supplementary, $11 billion is allocated to deal with compensation issues in the public sector. Can you indicate whether the issues related to the junior doctors, and I believe there are some overtime payment issues, whether that is included in the $11 billion? Secondly, I know allocations have been made to both the University of the West Indies and the University of Technology. Can you indicate whether those allocations would cover I know there are discussions or negotiations around compensation for lecturers and other staff members, whether any of those allocations would cover those matters?
So with respect to the the provisions in the supplementary, they address the third year of the compensation restructuring exercise, and they address some other matters. To the best of my understanding, the matter of the overtime arrangements for the Jamaica Medical Doctors Association members is currently under discussion, shall we say. So, while that remains the case, but let's be clear, the arrangements for junior doctors is that there are sessional rates that apply. And the sessional rates that have been enforced continue to apply until there is a new arrangement. Right? So it's not a matter that there's no payments for overtime. It's just that those payments reflect sessional rates that were agreed some time ago. I mean, in the last round of negotiations. With respect to, you asked also about, which was the second one? Yeah, there are subventions in this supplementary budget for UE and UTEC. But I should submit that, yeah, let's leave it at that. So we have subventions here. I would have given the numbers in my opening presentation last week, but in the order of billions of dollars. Between two of them, it is $5 billion in addition to what was provided or allocated in March. An additional $5 billion has been allocated to both UE and UTEC.
Member from St. Mary Central.
We know that they have these salary-related issues, so we would hope that they use it for that. Yeah.
Minister, thank you, Chair. Minister, the question that was just asked a while ago, if the 11 billion additional amount for salaries, whether that included anything for the Ministry of Health and Well, and you mentioned the Jamaica Medical Doctors Association. We see here where there's a $6.8 billion additional requirement, and it is primarily for compensation of employees. Is that part of the 11, or is it 11 plus the 6?
Just tell me where you're seeing that 6.8?
42,003.
42,000 what?
3.
Yeah. 42,003. You're seeing, you mean the 6.8?
Yes. Is that included in the 11 billion that you spoke to? Or is that, would that make it 17 billion?
All right. So, remember I mentioned to you that at the start of the fiscal year, we have an umbrella amount. This is not something that will happen in future years. It's specific to this period of the restructuring of salaries. So when we come into the fiscal year, the salaries allocated to the ministries and departments and agencies are exactly what they were, or a little bit above, last year. And the additional amounts between that and the total allocation are held in a contingency pending the detailed calculations for what is due to each member of the public service in the third year of the restructuring. And once those are determined, the amount in the contingency